Give praise, honor, and esteem to the Most High Yah. Hey, Naya. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day, John 5:39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they was testified of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. Yeah, I usually don't when it's a lot of people moving around. No, usually when it's a lot of people moving. No, I would have did it then, but when people, no, when people be moving around and it's time for me to go, I pray to myself. Like he was in the shower, y'all was conversating, she was on the phone. Yeah, because I don't do it on tape. So yeah. I mean, shoot, your head should be covered when the word come in with. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testified me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? You're being very rude right now. You're being very rude. Thank you. Do not think that I will accuse you, to Abba. There is one that accuse you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Let's go back to Job 31. So, of course, in Job 31:6, we looked at on Wednesday the statement that he made about, let me be weighed in an even balance, that Elohim may know my integrity or know my innocence. Let's take another look at innocence. Let's take a look at Job chapter. Let's go to Psalm 24:4. Make it 24:1. Psalm 20. Hey, Shirley. You gonna crawl over here, Shirley? All right. I'll take that. I'll take a smile. All right. I'll take that. And a word, too. All right. The earth is Yahuwah's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of Yahuwah? Who shall stand in his Kadesh place? He that have clean hands and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. Now, we've dealt with Psalms 24 in the past, but he's saying nobody's getting into this set-apart mountain unless they got clean hands and a pure heart. That word for clean hands is the same word for innocence, and it is nakwai. We have a noon, we have a kuf, and we have a yod. So we get again, what do we see this here? We see the final work of eternal life. When you turn around and you look at innocence, that final work. So when we look at this final work of innocence, that's going to lead to innocence. Let's sit back and let's see what would bring forth these clean hands or that final work of eternal life. Let's look at Sunday, Matthew chapter 27. Matthew 27. Because we're going to get to Sunday, we're going to talk about a little bit about discernment. You know anything about discernment, sir? You know anything about discernment? That nigga look like 12, like he's 12 years old. With a little P4, like you just started rubbing your face on young girl private parts. It's your L for your time. Yeah, he got to get messed with because he cut all the hair out of his face.
My husband looks handsome.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
And then the crazy part is he just knows. Nigga ain't even know.
So then, nigga, I ain't all in the nigga face. I ain't all in the nigga face. Nigga, it's dark in here. I can't see halfway in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Shayla, you know a little bit about discernment? Mm-hmm. Well, what you know about discernment? What you know about discernment over here, 12-year-old color? What you know about it? Deidre, you know anything about discernment?
I just know nothing about being of age and being, like I said,
being of age? What you know about discernment, Shayla? Nothing different? Well, what you know about it, D? What you know about it? Read the scene. Surely say discernment is somebody need to discern to put some milk in my belly. Matthew chapter 27. Do I need to pick this up at? Matthew 27 and 17. Make it 27 and 15. Matthew 27 and 15. Said, now at the feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called Hamashiach? For he knew that for envy they delivered him. When he was sat down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have nothing to do with this just man, for I've suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. For the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushua. The governor answered and said unto them, whether the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate saith unto them, what shall I do then with Yahushua, which is called a Mashiach? They all say unto him, let him be crucified. The governor said, why? What evil have he done? But they cried out the more, saying, let him be crucified. And when Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but rather atonement was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. So, of course, if we state that this man is just, then we know that this man is innocent of what they're bringing him to do. But what he's coming to do is to complete this final work, the kuf for the final, the yod for the work, the noon for eternal life. He's coming to do this here because there's innocency in his blood. Let's turn around and let's see. Hebrew chapter 9. Matter of fact, make that Acts, man. I got Acts 13. Acts 13, don't give me what? Yeah, Acts 13, right? About verse 31. Make it Acts 13 and 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, whosoever among you fear Elohim, to you is this word of salvation sent. For they that dwell at Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets which read every Shabbat day, and they fulfilled them in condemning him. So pause. He said they didn't know him not. So I want you to take a little time, because we're going to get into something in Job 31. Yes, sir. Let's pause and hold Acts 13. Let's take a little journey to John chapter 8. And after we take a journey to John chapter 8, we'll take a journey to Deuteronomy 29. Because see, if they condemned him because they didn't know the word, which means they couldn't discern. Now, there's several different words for discern. There's several different words for discern. It's actually 4 different words for discern. 3 of them you should know quite readily. Yeah, quite readily. If I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Acts 8 and 52. I mean, John 8 and 52, I'm sorry. Make it John 8 and 48. Then answered the Yahudim and said unto him, say not we well that thou art Samaritan. Matter of fact, back it up, right? Because this will work even more. 8 and 45. John 8 and 45. John 8 and 45. Listen what it says, right? And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convinced me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of Elohim hears Elohim's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of Elohim. Now, I was telling this right here because I heard a brother say this here, man, it trips me out every single time I hear somebody say it, that nobody can never stop sinning. It's the most asinine thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. Because I've actually read this book and swallowed the whole book and know what the book said and know that the plan of Elohim is for us to become like Yahushua. Main being because we're looking at this word Nakai, which is innocence. So his final work was to bring forth eternal life. He was innocent in doing so because he committed no sin. So therefore that you could be transformed into the sons and daughters of Elohim so that he can put you in an even balance and weigh your integrity. Because if he weigh your integrity, we seen integrity means to be innocent. So when this man weigh you in the balance, or when he judges you, then you have to be found what? Innocent. You know what I'm saying? That's not a hard thing to understand. You can't be found guilty. See, and there's another word for innocence that means, which we're going to look at, means free from guilt or free from punishment. If you are contrary to the law, then you're not free from guilt. You're not free from punishment. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, his judgment has to fall upon your head. What people don't understand is the first Adam brought forth the judgment. He brought forth a work that brought death. The second Adam brought forth a work that brings life, which will cause you to be innocent. Adam's work caused you to be what? Guilty. Doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we know sin bring forth death. So this man came to remove sin. If he's coming to remove sin, that means he's coming to remove death. If I'm always in sin, then I'm always going to die. And that's not the plan of Yahuwah. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Just read the book and see it for yourself. You ain't got to take my word for it. Read it for yourself. Take Yah's word for it. He the one who said it. Matter of fact, since I said that, he said, right, he that's an Elohim, here's Elohim word. Come on, right? That's what we just read in verse 47, right? Now come over here to Psalms 119. I want y'all to tell me what this say. Just tell me what this say. He said, never see. We getting it all that there. But I just want somebody to come over here to Psalms 119, tell me what that say. He say, he that's an Elohim, hear Elohim word. That's what it say, right? Okay. I didn't want somebody to tell me what Psalms 119 say. That's all I want somebody. Verse 1. I didn't want somebody to tell me what it say. You know what Psalms 119 and 1 say? I know what it say off the top of my head. I'm going to read it to you, though. I ain't never forgot this verse. I'm going to see if y'all familiar with the verse. It said, Baruch are they that are undefiled in the way. What does it mean to be undefiled? That's blameless. He says, who walk in the Torah of Yahuwah. So, oh my man, this man just said what? You blessed if you undefiled in the way. Who's the way? The way is Yahushua. He said in 1 John 3 and 5 that whosoever has not seen him, whoever sinned has neither seen him neither known him, because we know that he was manifested to take away our sin, and in him is no sin. So anyone who is in him would be what? Right. Undefiled in the way. Look at verse 2 say, blessed are they that keep his testimonies and they seek him with the whole heart. Listen what verse 3 say, because I'm not sure if I can read properly. It says they also do no iniquity and they walk in his ways. So they don't do what? So if you seek him, look at the key thing, right? I want you to focus on, it's just not the keeping of the commandments what's being mentioned here. He said, if you seek him with the whole heart. Paul, let's go look at what the law say. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Let's just look at what the law say. See, because there's an aspect of faith in that statement, if you seeking him with the whole heart. I just want you to see what the law say. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Yasharah, Yahuwah Elohim is one, Yahuwah. Thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. So if you seeking him with the whole heart, wouldn't you be seeking him with faith? Well, let's look at John chapter 4 then. I didn't want to make this clear. I want to make sure, because if you are Elohim, you're going to hear Elohim word. You don't hear him not, because you're not Elohim. We about to get to that word when he say that itself. John chapter 4, verse 21. Yahushua saith unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship Abba. You should worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Yahudim. But the hour come and now is when the true worshippers shall worship Abba in Ruach and in truth, for Abba seeks such to worship him. Elohim is a Ruach, and they that worship him must worship him in Ruach and in truth. So didn't he say if you seek him, you'll find him? So he just said that Elohim himself is seeking people to worship him in Ruach and in truth. And then Psalms 119 says, you could come back to Psalms 119. Psalms 119 says that those that seek him with the whole heart keep his testimonies. They don't do no iniquity and they walk in his ways. Look at verse 11 and the same thing, and then we'll move on. We'll look at verse 9, since we're talking about getting clean. Being innocent. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in thy heart, that I might not sin against thee. So if the word is hidden where he say he gonna hide the word at? So if he hide it in your heart, he hid it in his heart for what purpose? To not sin, right? So how you gonna tell me that? Well, let's look at this statement right here, right? Well, so I'll take this in. I'm not even going to the New Testament for it. I could, but I'm not. Jeremiah 31. Because let's just see what that is, right? Let's just see what that's saying. I need another witness. I just need another witness. Y'all bear with me. It's getting to a point, because it's getting to the point for those of y'all who can see the title, what the title say. You getting to it. Just bear with me. I know I started a little late. I might go a little longer. Well, longer than if I would have started on time. Well, same amount of time just because you're later. Well, you know what I mean. Don't matter. Jeremiah 31 and 31. Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharal and with the house of Yehuda, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them out to bring them out of the land of Mizraim, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahuwah. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal after those days, saith Yahuwah. I will put my Torah in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. This is what a new covenant is. Ain't that what Psalms 119 said? So let's look at another place in Ezekiel 36, and let's get another witness. Then we'll go to Deuteronomy 29. 36 and 25. You done jumped it all, baby. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new ruach will I put within you. I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my ruach within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. Whose ruach did he say he was going to put in you? His. So if you tell me that you got Yah's ruach in you, and you can sin with it in you, guess what you just did? Not only that, you just blasphemed. And quite possibly could have blasphemed the Ruach HaKodesh, because you said that the Ruach HaKodesh was doing unclean works.
Yeah, he was like that jump come from the pits. Yeah.
Straight up. That's blaspheming the Ruach.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you saying, because
You got the spirit.
I got the spirit, but I'm a sin sometimes. So you saying y'all got this, because what? That's why I read.
You can have the spirit
And be evil.
Yeah.
Because that's why I read John chapter 4. Does it not say that Elohim is Ruach? Now, can't we go in Job and say Elohim don't sin? Say he ain't tempted to evil nor bring evil to any man. So if this man Ruach is present, and we seen that he said, I'm going to put my, one, we read that he said, I'm going to write my law in your heart. We seen Psalms 119 said the same thing. We seen Ezekiel said the same thing. Ezekiel took it a step further and said, I'm going to put my spirit in you. And it's going to cause you to do what I say.
New spirit.
A new spirit. So that means, see, and I'm working towards something. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Because he that is because guess what? What is his spirit? His what? His word. And then what is it? My words that I speak unto you, they are ruach and they are life. Again, this is, y'all can't see the title. They can see the title. It's working towards the title. Yeah, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7. Might be verse 5. Make that verse 3, right? He says, for as much as you are manifestly declared to be the epistle of a Mashiach, ministered by us, not written with ink, because where was the first word written at? It was written in stone. It says, but with the ruach of the living Elohim, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust we have through a Mashiach to Elohim ward, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of Elohim, who have made us able ministers of the New Testament, and not of the letter, but of the Ruach, for the letter kill, but the Ruach give life. So now he just stated that this, Paul's is confirming the same thing what we just read in the prophets and what we read in the law, that this man's word is going to bring forth life. and it's going to be inside of you, and it's going to cause you to follow it. See, that's where discernment comes. See, some people who don't have any level of discernment can hear a statement and pay it no mind. Do you know what I'm saying? And be like, yeah, brother, but we're going to go in one more spot before we go to Deuteronomy 29. No, I need to finish John 8. Look at something in Luke chapter 6. It's something that y'all should know. I'd like to see it, right? Some people like to see it. So you telling me you ain't never sinned? I ain't never told you nothing. But don't you tell me you're a new creature in the Mashiach and you still beating your meat, telling lies, fornicating, committing adultery, got envy in your heart, you're backbiting, you don't take care of your wife, you don't take care of your kids, you're a selfish bastard, you know what I'm saying? You look to please yourself and not Elohim, you know what I'm saying? You're a traitor, you don't keep your word. Don't tell me none of that. Because Paul wrote in Ephesians chapter 4, you ought to be renewed in the ruach of your mind and to put off the old man concerning the old behavior and put on the new man, which is created after righteousness. So if you still around here talking about, you know what, I'm finna get on Pornhub and play penis in the puppet. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't no new creature. If you can sit and look a nigga in the eyes and tell him a bold-faced lie, you ain't a new creature. You still the same wicked nigga you always been. How you knew but you the same? That's what them chicks used to say when we was in high school, right? They said they had that thing, you could be a re-virgin. Nah, baby, that freshman seal been broken. You can't redo that. Yeah, that's what they said. They'll do something and they'll take an oath and say, I'm a virgin again. No, baby. The hymen says different because it's gone. Because in them days, you could have told them you was no re-virgin. They wouldn't have found no blood on that napkin. You were going to get some re-stones upside your head or put out your daddy's house and be shamed. She's a whore. But you know how shameful that would have been to be walking around the community and everybody looking at you? Such and such the whore. See, now people be like, yeah, what's up, ho? They proud of it now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen that little clip that dude was talking to that girl talking about, are you a slut? No, I'm not a slut. You know what I'm saying? She like this here. But why you dressed like a slut? Is your mother she said, all women are slut. Is your mother a slut? No, my mama ain't a slut. Why are you a slut? Like this dude who preaching, he talking to this chick at a slut walk in New York. And everybody like, yeah, empowered and all this here. It's cool to be a slut. And somebody will turn around and be like, well, men do it. Shoot, he a slut too. But at the same token, I done told you this before, a woman has to humble herself and allow a man into her body. So why would she be cool with letting indiscriminate men enter into her body? Leaving his bodily fluids behind. You know what I'm saying? You done been with 3-4 niggas tonight.
That's tough.
That's tough. It ain't no different with a dude. It's just like I said, it don't get dropped on a dude as hard because no one is humbling him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to allow someone to enter into his body. Well, that's because he's a homosexual. That's another conversation for another time. You know what I'm saying? Or if he just a sodomite who ain't been with a man, because somebody do letting their old ladies humble him.
No talking, mama.
You ain't that girl's mama. You ain't birthed no children.
No.
I know it. You and Leah think y'all somebody's mama. Yeah, I thought she was shooting at you at first, but she was going toward the baby.
No, she was talking to me.
She was talking to you?
Yeah.
That's what she called me.
Oh, you so disrespectful or something.
It was nice though.
She did it smooth,
It was
smooth enough to where
Yeah,
you wouldn't even chop her.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
I thought it was on today.
I did too. I definitely was
It
fooled.
was like she made it after I said, kept walking like she was somebody's mama.
I definitely thought she was talking to the baby. She definitely got me on that one. I definitely couldn't be mad after that. That was too smooth. 6 and 30 and 40, man. 6 and 40. Luke 6 and 40. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. So I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me Jesus was the only perfect man ever lived. Ain't nobody. See, he was God. That man was flesh. That's what Hebrews tell us, don't it? He was tempted in the flesh like as we are, yet without what? Man told you to take it. The thing with that coming, like I was looking at something, right? And I was telling Brandon it earlier. Because he was like, how could a woman got to be lame to let a nigga use the word to trick them out their booty? I say, it's not necessarily that they lame. But any semblance of a woman is going to want a man who can teach her something. So wicked niggas and horn dogs see that all our people finding out they bruised. They haven't got that lust out their heart. So they can take this same very word, you know what I'm saying, and use it and appear like they can teach this woman something, knowing that this woman is going to be attracted to that, and then use that to their advantage for sexual gratification. You know what I'm saying? That's what nigga do. You know what I'm saying? Does a woman play the only way a woman don't play culpability is like, no, I can't even say that because Paul let it be known. They come taking captive silly women with diverse lusts. But see, these men know that these women have diverse and different desires. So they're watching and they're paying attention to the, you know what I'm saying? They're paying attention to the desire. They're just doing what the adversary doing. I'm paying attention to your desire, and I'm going to put that temptation in your face because I know you have that desire. Then when that desire is in your face and you ask me, is this wrong? Should we not be doing this? Well, we getting married anyway. They hit you with that one. It comforts you to believe the lie. You know what I'm saying? For you to go ahead and lay down with this man. Or that's what niggas do. That's why I say we not ignorant of Satan. We know his devices. He's going to see what your desire is. He's going to tempt you with your desire. And when you question him saying, you know this is wrong, he's going to, even though this is what you want to do anyway, he's going to feed you a lie that's going to comfort you and to go ahead and to fulfill that desire. You know what I'm saying? Then when that desire is fulfilled, then death is brought in, and then you sitting around looking like, dang. And he's sitting there skinning. Gotcha. On to the next one. That's where discernment coming at. You know what I'm saying? Because you supposed to know Yah would never tell me to do anything different from him. But the thing is if nobody's telling you that don't go different, if the only thing they can telling you is to keep Shabbat and don't eat pork, and you a brew, and all the nation is going to be dead, then you're not going to have that ability to look at that and say, that nigga's deceiving me right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part niggas overlook. Yeah, that woman play culpability. Yeah, that man play culpability. But you can put the word to the side. Any woman who got any type of brain want a man that can teach her something. And men know. That's what I was telling you earlier. A nigga like this here, niggas look at it and see, what does that woman like? And I'm going to do what that woman like till I can get her booted. And then once I get her booted, if I don't want it no more, I'm going to stop doing it. So she'll leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? If niggas know you like long walks on the park, that nigga he gonna do that. He gonna do whatever he gotta do to get you out your clothes. If that's his aim. See, a man who ain't trying to get you out your clothes, if the man wants you, then he don't care what it is we doing as long as I'm doing it with you.
But you're right.
You know what I'm saying? That's if a man really wants you. You know what I'm saying? Because if a man really wants you, he ain't talking to you about no sex. That's not the main purpose of his conversation, and he ain't doing nothing to lead you in that direction. Some of these niggas looking for a woman to take care of them.
So you might be on the chair.
See, I've been swinging on this chair. I've been swagging and surfing. I thought you knew. See, I ain't no little baby. I've been for that chair too big for me. John tried to, hey. Y'all be there want you, and it just ain't sex that I'm talking about. Because it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. It's the same token that we didn't talk about this before. One West people get people because of they play on your anger. You know what I'm saying? They play on your discontent. They play on your lack of knowledge of knowing who you are and trump that up to play to the desire of your low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Your low self-worth, your low self-value. They play on that. That's not to say that everybody in those organizations are bad people. We're talking about how it was structured and how it was started. They play on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sit back and look at that. I'm telling you right now, boy. I would tell you earlier, right, like, you ain't got too many dudes that would just be emotional in front of a woman because a man's not taught to do that. Not just in front of a woman, in front of anybody. You're taught that that's weakness, and niggas will take advantage of that. So if a man is actually, see, this is what people don't realize, because I see Nisha had mentioned this earlier today, and see, I know this here. If a man is emotionally available to a woman, that means he trusts her. And if he trusts her, that means he loves her. So if a man is not emotionally available to a woman, it's probably because he don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Because the man is just not going to show his emotions to a woman because he dating her. He could have been to marry this woman and realize, I don't trust her. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the part you look at. If a man tell you how he feels, then he trusts you. Men just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Women don't understand that because y'all do that regularly. You could do that with a woman you known for a couple months. Just tell her how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Men don't do that though. Men don't sit around with each other. Let's discuss our feelings. You know what I'm saying? Your homeboy could have just got his head blown off and nigga be like, boy, that's rough, boy. I was just with him yesterday, boy. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that John hard, boy. Shoot, boy, I'm finna go hit this block though, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga keep that stuff on the inside. You know what I'm talking about? They not gonna talk about it. They not gonna discuss it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little different. Men just a little different. They just move a little different. You know what I'm saying? Women don't understand that because women are taught to be open emotionally. Do you know what I'm saying? Tell you how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Nigga ain't finna sit around with his homeboys having no emotional powwow. Nigga be like,
Emotional, you tell me how you feel. Y'all tell each other how y'all feel.
nah, niggas don't get no deep emotions, not in them conversations. Unless something very, very traumatic happened to him.
Not only humbug.
Yeah. Something got to happen.
He said women sit around and do that.
Oh, I'm about to say, now, niggas
Yeah.
telling they don't boil their feelings.
Yeah, something has to happen
But
though.
he was saying too, like he was saying, is if you trust them, you feel me?
Right, okay. I'm about to say, because he like,
Because he was saying a woman should be telling somebody how they feel ain't known them but a couple months. And
Yeah,
nigga not finna trust nobody to
I feel
talk.
like that was per person, because there's some niggas that's like that.
You got some men that are just, you have some men that are just like that, but I'm talking about in general. In general, most men are not like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to discuss their feelings. They're not going to discuss their emotions. They're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just not going to do it. I ain't saying that it's wrong. It's anything wrong with somebody if they choose to do it. But shoot, I'm a man, and shoot, majority of my friends been men, and shoot, niggas don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You try to have that, especially with some young niggas, they gonna look at you stupid. You know what I'm saying? Man, bro, you tripping, bro. I don't wanna hear all that. But let his old lady do something to him. Nigga might spill something. Let a nigga get murked, or a couple niggas get murked. They might spill it on out. You know what I'm saying? It's good to do though. It's good every now and then get that junk off your chest, and that junk short in your life. You keep it in too long. Yes, seriously. I mean, shoot, most men are taught from an early age. Most men taught to what? Suck it up and deal with it. That's what you taught. That's what you told. You know what I'm saying? See, and then when you get older, and guess who be the main one telling you to suck it up and deal with it? It don't be your pappy. It be your mama. Am I lying though? Then when the young man get older, then women want you to be what? Hard and gentle. But all you've been told your whole life was, when you hurt it, suck it up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't know that. It don't be your daddy tell you to suck that up. You been did something to your mama tell you, suck that up, nigga. You a man. You a boy. You ain't supposed to do that.
I mean, nigga, y'all feel they too.
God, that's where you get it. Because eventually you realize, yeah, like I say, it's weakness though. I say it's different interaction between men and women and man and man. You can't show that type of weakness towards another man. Nigga will devour you out here. You know what I'm saying? You around here like emotionally available, nigga see that? You might not even be weak, but a nigga gonna perceive you to be weak, and he gonna seek to take advantage of you. It's different. Y'all don't have to deal with that in your interactions with another woman. What nigga feel, because that y'all don't have testosterone. So y'all don't have the desire or the ego to conquer and show that I'm better and stronger than this man. Because men do that. You know what I'm saying? Just the same way token. Now, like we done talked about it before, like I said, you move in a different neighborhood. Women may fight, but a nigga gonna thump with you if you move in a new neighborhood because he want to see where your heart at. And if a nigga see you weak,
I feel like the tactic is different, but it's the same.
I wouldn't know. I ain't no woman.
I feel what you're saying.
So I
Like,
don't know.
you gotta think the quality. It probably is the
Like
same.
me,
The qualities that
girls.
we feel like we're supposed to have as men.
Mom, can you stop?
As men, we peep that out in the nigga.
Yeah, and
I
if you
feel
ain't got
like
it,
the same thing with women. Like it's probably certain
do
qualities.
y'all look for weakness in another woman?
Nah, but some women do. It's just like it is with guys, like with people in general. Like you have people who just vibe with themselves. I'm not gonna throw myself in there. You got people that's gonna throw themselves in there. You got people that's just gonna come and do the most. So it's kind of like with women. Like if you knew, it's gonna be some people that's gonna try to try you. Like let me see what type of time she on. Let me see if I can.
But we do that to each other as men and women.
Well, I know that, but I know men look for weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like once I identify that you not a man,
I feel like women do
Nigga gon', but I don't think that women gonna like attack brutally like dudes do. Cause niggas attack brutally.
It depends, cause that's how I said. Women, it's different. Like physical. Women are mental. I'm about to mentally kill her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, y'all try to destroy niggas' emotions, but I'm talking about men are trying to destroy your whole life though.
I was just saying. Right?
You know what I'm saying? Nigga coming to destroy your. I can take something from this
She
nigga.
said it's more outwardly with niggas.
Cause he a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
But that makes no sense though.
Yeah, this nigga hoe, so I can just walk up and take whatever. Like Donald Trump is an example of that. That nigga tried nigga see where you at, and if you feel like you weak, he gonna run over you. Cause you a bully. You know what I'm saying?
But if he feel like
You gonna stand up to him, he gonna give you your respect.
and he gonna try to see what he can.
Get up out you. You know you're a good guy, man. Stand up guy.
He wanna have you on the team.
That's why a nigga I know was doing what, 30, 40 years in prison? Cause a nigga robbed him and he felt like he had no choice other than to kill the man because he knew he wouldn't be able to survive out here on these streets. Cause everybody around there be like, I can do it to him. It's an ugly way to live. You think we just be nice to each other, but I done told you that before. Like people talking about stop bullying. That junk don't stop. Niggas be bullying nigga till they 60 years old. It get worse when you get grown, in my opinion. John 8:48. You think it get worse when you get grown?
Yeah, if you was already bullied young.
No, I'm talking about just people bullying people. I think see they call bullying picking on people. You know what I'm saying? I think it get worse when it get grown. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Severity of it is different.
Yeah, it's different.
Niggas really just be feelings be hurt, but now it be niggas pockets be hurt.
Pockets hurt.
Life be
Everything.
destroyed.
And guess what nigga doing? Ranking on you. Look at this broke nigga here. Look at this nigga. Look at it. What are those? People would call that bullying. You ranking on me because
Still not as bullying.
a nigga walk around here picking on your shoes because I ain't have $180 to spend on some jaws. Because I wanted to wear some shites. You seen that video called Clown Cub with them shites on?
It depends on like, you know, a joke is a joke. But they say bullying is.
No, there's a difference, and then we gonna move on, right? You got jokes, and then you got when you trying to embarrass somebody. So you have niggas when they ranking, it's for sport. And then you have some people they ranking, they trying to embarrass you. You know what I'm saying? Make you go home and get high. Or kill yourself. John 8:40. Yeah, I felt like when we were ranking, boy, and I felt like you could see a nigga getting like this here. I'm finna stop. This for sport now. I ain't trying to make a nigga go home and commit suicide. Because he ain't committing suicide because of you.
That's bullying though.
But you know, black people love to crack jokes.
But when you do it, try to do somebody like that.
That's also psychopathic. Nevertheless. Then answered the Yahudim and said unto him, say we not well that thou art Samaritan and has a devil. Yahushua answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Abba, and you dishonor me. And I seek not my own esteem, and there is one that seek and judge. Truly I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. Then said the Yahudim unto him, now we know thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets, thou say, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste death. Art thou greater than our Abba Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom make thou thyself? Yahushua answered, and if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Abba that honor me, of whom you say that he is your Elohim. Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you, but I know him, and I keep his sayings. See, that's the thing I tell them. They be like, oh, everybody sin. That's when you supposed to, if you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to look at him dead in the face. Say, I know my Elohim, and you know him not. And if I was to say I know him not, then I'd be a liar like unto you. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, speak for yourself, cuz. We done went over this before. Don't nobody hit you with that. If we don't confess our sins, then we a lie. The truth ain't in it. Nigga, I've been baptized. I confess my sins then. I don't know what you talking about. Huh? Ain't that what you supposed to tell him? Well, I've been baptized. I confess my sins then. I don't know what you talking about. Shit, nigga, you sound crazy. Deuteronomy 29, man. Don't let nobody make no fool out you, man. Them boys had y'all confess y'all sins when y'all went. That nigga a dirty dog. They're bringing you out there, dropping you in that water. You supposed to stood out there in front of her. I was a nasty, and let it go from there.
So that don't feel so right. When I found out you were doing that don't feel right.
What? People confessing they sin?
Yeah.
Because that's what the book say to do. I'm just doing what the book say to
That
do.
don't feel right. Like, you supposed to do this.
You supposed to. You know why? Y'all remember why? Because when you hear this, what does the book tell you? Be ashamed.
I mean, that's like it is right. Just considering what we was at in our lives at that time.
Yeah, be ashamed.
I'm sure confessing some sins would have made you think about stuff.
I would have hoped so.
Definitely.
I would have hoped so. Because you'd have sat back and looked at it. Why'd you knock it? Oh, no. You know what I'm talking about? But that's come, I think, and that's not the spirit of him. But I think that really come from me looking more at the act, you know what I'm saying, versus let's follow this to a T and the reason being and cause for doing so. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, what you doing when you confessing your sins, y'all, for those of y'all that don't know, before you get immersed, because it's to purge your soul or your spirit of the things that you've been. Number one is to, because the book tell you in Proverbs 28 and 13, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper, but whosoever confess and forsake shall have mercy. So there's a template for this in the script. So when you confessing your faults before Elohim, because you're not confessing your faults before the people, even though people are standing around, it's not for them. You know what I'm saying? You doing that for y'all. Then in doing that, as it says in Ezekiel 36, be ashamed of all your deeds. I said be ashamed.
It's forcing you to take responsibility.
It's exactly. Now you got to take responsibility for what you've done against Elohim. Therefore, it should be some self-accountability because you're not going to want to go against Elohim. Therefore, it's also reminding you is that was the deeds of the old man. And you're putting that man off. And you're going in the grave and coming out of the water and putting on the new man who does not operate, nor live, nor think according to the deeds of the corrupt man who you just put off. Which, of course, they know anybody who we done immersed, that has been, we went over that with them before and right before they hit that water. Because I want you to be able to understand that. That's what this is about. You're just not coming here to get wet. You're coming here to partake in the death and resurrection of your Savior. He became sin for you. So you're confessing that off of you, saying, I'm putting off this body of flesh, waiting to put on my new tabernacle. And this new tabernacle does not walk in iniquity. That man say, take up your stake daily and follow him. I've told y'all this before. I tell you again. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Tell them speak for yourself. Because you're supposed to take it what? One day at a time. Because you don't know if tomorrow going to come. So you can't do nothing but take it one day at a time. If you can get through Shabbat without sinning, you can get through day 1. You can get through day 2. You can get through day 3. You can get through day 4. You can get through, but the desire and the love and the heart for Elohim has to be present for you to do so. Nothing going, we just read this Wednesday, nothing going on around you should separate you from the love of Mashiach. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care if you ended up homeless. I don't care if you got $1 million. I don't care if your whole family died. I don't care if you had 15 children. I don't care if you was butt naked. I don't care if you had the most expensive clothes you could find. Nothing should cause you to stop loving this man. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anything that any one of us suffer is common unto man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Peter wrote, the same temptations and troubles that are on you are on your brethren in the world. So you're not special. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can't come at me on the woe is me, why me tip, because there's somebody on the other side of the world say the same thing. So if you say you of Yahuwah, then get what you're supposed to be doing. Lean on your God. And on top of that, lean on righteous people. See, our problem is we don't lean on Yah first, and then we don't lean on those who serve him. He said, I'm a companion of those that fear him, but we ain't companions. You got to be a companion. Got to be one with him. You know, but what do I know? Deuteronomy 29:1. I know what the book say. I'm going to roll with that. That's what I know. Ooh, you eating up somebody's shoe. Now you're going to have corn chips. Nah, she eating your sandal though. Deuteronomy 29:1. These are the words of the covenant which Yahuwah commanded Moses to make with the children of Yasharal in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Moses called unto all Yasharal and said unto them, you have seen all that Yahuwah did before your eyes in the land of Mizraim under Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land. the great temptations which thy eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. Yet Yahuwah have not given you a heart to perceive, eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day. Paul, so we're looking at the word perceive. I want you to come over here to 1 Samuel chapter 19 for another location. The word perceive here is yada. That's the word that's used here in Deuteronomy 29. And we're going to look at it in another place where you can see perceive and discern are pretty much one and the same.
Is it Samuel?
1 Samuel 19. Pretty much about verse 3. 1 Samuel 19:3. Oh no, that wasn't it. That might have been 2 Samuel. Is that 1 Samuel 19? Let me see if that's 2 Samuel, man. I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. 2 Samuel 19. That's my fault. 2 Samuel 19. Pick it up, verse 3. Of course, this is when Absalom get killed. And the people got them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face. Dang, I ain't spell that word out. Hey, look at y'all and tell me if that's an olive or I ain't even spell it out. I would probably say it's I ain't.
That's the word for y'all.
Yeah. But I mean, got it always double check. But the king covered his face and cried with a loud voice, "Oh, my son Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son." Joab came into the house to the king and said, "Thou hast shamed this day the face of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life and the life of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives and the lives of thy concubines, and that thou love thy enemies and hate thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regard neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that Absalom had lived, and we had all died this day. You would have pleased well." So again, you see the word perceive, and it's yada. Yad, dalet, and what else? The ayin.
Yep.
Yad, dalet, and ayin. So when we're looking at perception, and we look at perceiving, because remember he said, Yah didn't give you eyes to perceive in Deuteronomy 29, to see or to hear or to understand. So clearly you're not going to be able to understand the work. I don't think I want to use to know or experience. What's the other thing for that? I am, man.
To know.
That it is. That'll work. You will not be able to know about the work of him that is hanged on the door. You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to know it. Recall how we just read in Acts 13, how it said they condemned him? So let's come back over here to, night, Shirley. Let's come back to Acts chapter 3. And then we just hit the statement that Peter stated about them. He said, I hope you did it out of ignorance. That's why when you look at this here, the reason why we reading this and the reason why we read about Pilate was because Pilate was able to discern that this man ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want nothing to do with this. And it stated that Pilate was able to know that they delivered him up for envy. So whether Pilate understood or knew it or not, Pilate was discerning between the righteous and the wicked. You know what I'm saying? He was able to discern between the two. See, a lot of times people can't discern between the righteous and the wicked because you want to see people how you want to see them. Mm. But you got to learn to see things through the eyes of Yahuwah and put your personal feelings to the side. That doesn't mean you change how you deal with people. That doesn't mean you become some high and mighty douchebag. Not holier than thou, because y'all should know what holier than thou is. You know what holier than thou is, Shayla? What is that? According to the text. Because the statement comes from the text. Isaiah 65 to be specific. You know what it means to be holier than thou?
Pride.
That's a part of it. But to be holier than thou is to turn your nose at people and you sinning just like they are. Let's look at it for those who don't know. Isaiah 65. Let's look at that for those who don't know. Because I know a lot of people sit back and say, oh, he's holier than thou. Now, this looking in English, we could read it in Hebrew, but this just looking at it in English. When you look at it in English, it's going to tell you what it means. He says, 65:1. I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. I spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walk in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. A people that provoke me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh, and the broth of abominable things is in their vessels. That's why I be telling you, that's why I don't go to the graveyard. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't going to no graveyard. Yeah, I'm not going to no graveyard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hanging out there. I ain't coming there. When my daddy died, they put that knee in the ground. I dipped. I didn't really want to be out there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? This is a land of uncleanliness. Ain't nothing clean out here. We supposed to be seeking to our Elohim, not the dead. That's what I'm going. I don't be out here. My mama sitting there walking. I'm gonna see if I can find your auntie grave. I ain't walking over there with you. I understand you want to go look. I ain't looking with you. One, cause I ain't gonna find it. Two, what I'm looking at it for? Just to see her name on the stone. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about on a natural level. You get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's when the word come in like you. I'm a natural person. I'm a human being. So I'm thinking, shoot, I'd like to walk over there and see it myself. But the word that's in me say, walk over there for what? To see what? Ain't nothing in that vessel. Ain't nothing over there for you. So you know what I end up doing? Sit where I'm at. Do you know what I'm saying? And see, some people will hear that and think that's cold or that's harsh. But that's when the word kick in and take control. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're a natural person. So what person ain't gonna be like this here with shoe? My auntie buried out here. Might as well walk over there to her grave. I ain't been out here in X amount of years. That word come in, walk over there for what? What you gonna do? Read a headstone? You know she gone. You known that for 17 years, son. You might as well just go ahead and sit on down here and wait for this ceremony to be over so you can go over to the repast and eat some food that's gonna kill everybody. Because you know we ain't going to do nothing but cook some food that's going to kill everybody. We going to be the next one going there with this junk.
No, they can have a funeral at 1 Timothy. My grandma ain't been in 1 Timothy in about 16 years.
Well, that's what people always do it at. That's my church home. When the last time you been there? 1979?
You doing that Shabbat?
You know that Friday.
Oh, no. I definitely want to line this hip on. You got to rush to get there to get bathed.
That'd be quick, though.
Yeah. Verse 5. Which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are smoke in my nose and a fire that burn all the day. So that's what it means to be holier than thou. You lodging in the monuments, you eating swine flesh, you got a broth for abominable things in your body. You provoke this man continually to your face, to his face. You're rebellious. And when somebody come to you, don't come near. You want to see an example of that? You want to see an example of that? Luke chapter 7. Don't come near unto me. I'm holier than you. But we're going to look and see what them wicked niggas were doing, though. Luke 7. And of course, we ain't saying every scribe and Pharisee was wicked. I hate when people think that way. But y'all did get the point. 7:36. And one of the Pharisees desired that he would eat with him. And he sat down, and he went into the Pharaoh's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and then wiped them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. Now when the Pharisees which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known of what manner of woman this is that touched him, for she is a sinner. But guess what these scribes and Pharisees was out here doing? Making long prayer, devouring widows' houses, He told them to beware of the leaven of the scribes and the Pharisees, which was what? Hypocrisy. So these men are, that's why Yahushua come through and say, woe unto them or destruction unto him. Because y'all are fire that burning in nose. Because y'all telling people don't come near to you because you a sinner, but you doing the same thing they doing. So that's what it means is when somebody, see, most people take somebody being holier than thou to think I'm better than you because I serve the Lord now. And that's not scripturally, that's not what that means. That's a hypocrite telling another, somebody in the same boat as them, that I'm better than you. Don't come near me. That's why he said, that's why he gave that, he that exalteth himself shall be abased. He that humbleth himself shall be exalted. He said, I'm glad I'm not a sinner as this sinner is. I fast twice in the week, but your heart wicked, cuz. That's discernment. See, y'all can discern between the two. See, you know what we get caught up in? Moray, pastor, apostle. You know what I'm saying? So when these niggas around here doing wicked stuff, you turn your head. See, if you notice, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. And I could be wrong. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I didn't want it to be known. This is my opinion. I personally believe that niggas who teach the word set that up that we'll always sin. So when they get out of pocket, y'all ain't gonna have no problem with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they done already set your mind up that I'm a sin. Do you know what I'm saying? So when he get caught stealing the money or he get caught tapping a couple holes, guess what y'all, we all in the flesh, brother. Ain't nobody perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to hold him accountable. But guess what, right? If somebody, like I say this, right? If I preach the word, right? There's nobody above me in the flesh. So you know who I'm accountable to? The people who you teach the word to. Most people who preach the word, if they feel like ain't nobody over them, they feel like nobody can hold them accountable because they don't have the mindset of, I'm accountable to these people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's who I'm accountable to. So even if I do something that's sin or not a sin, I'm going to hold myself accountable to these people. Do you know what I'm talking about? Most niggas feel like, shoot. Bro, you see it all the time when these niggas get caught out of pocket. Niggas rushing to their defense. See, you don't know the whole story, brother. See, you got to know the whole thing, the judgment. All I need to know, did he put his penis in her? Yeah, he wrong. I don't need to know the backstory. I care less about the backstory. Did he hit her? Did he lie? Did he steal it? That's all I need. Right or wrong? I don't need to know nothing else. I don't need to know nothing else. That ain't not no disrespect. That just is what it is. Where's the accountability at? Why does he get a pass? You don't want to give these Christian pastors no pass. Do you know what I'm saying? But he get a pass? No, he don't get no pass. Because he ain't get no pass with y'all. See, most dudes look at, oh man, these dudes teaching false doctrine. And they do. And they got an answer for it. But how else, if you know they teaching false doctrine, you know they living a false life too. They best life. And they ain't going to go back and forth with you niggas either. Mm-mm. Where was that, man? Acts 3. I didn't want to tell you the truth, man. It's like this here, man. Ain't nobody got no business trying to lead somebody to salvation and they ain't led themselves. We just read that last week, didn't we? You teach another man not to commit adultery? Does thou commit adultery? If you commit sacrilege, you around here telling somebody don't worship idols, you got Nikes on your feet? Got a cross around your neck? No, man. It got to be better than that. 3 and 13. I remember a dude I used to know, he told me, see, you come with that perfect doctrine. I say, shoot, that ain't my doctrine. That's y'all's doctrine. I don't know why people so fearful of being complete and being whole and being innocent. Why do we fear that? Why do we have it in our mind that you can never be nothing less than perfect? But everybody want to be, everybody say, ain't nobody perfect. Says who? Y'all never said that. Y'all ain't never said that. Let's just see. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just see. Let's see what the law says. Deuteronomy 18. Of course, we understand what the word means, but it means to be completed. If you in Yahushua, how you not perfect? How you not complete? How you not whole? How you not innocent? Why has this man's final work not brought you eternal life? That was the purpose. You can't have eternal life with death on your head. That ain't life then. That's death. Deuteronomy 18 and 13. Look what the law say. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahuwah thy Elohim. Well, I guess that in that statement, that what the law saying. Now let me ask y'all a question. Don't Hebrews scream keep the law? Torah, Torah, Torah. Well, why don't nobody scream that out, the Torah? That's what it say, ain't it? He gave a commandment to be perfect in it. That's in the law. So when you tell me can't nobody be perfect, then you telling me to break the law. No, brother. Not keep the commandments to your best ability. He said be. I don't know if be is a verb or adverb in that instance, but that means that's an action you need to take. Hamashiach came back later and said, be ye perfect as your what? Father in heaven is perfect. So we looking at being complete, meaning strive to be in your Elohim, in your God, in your giver and sustainer of life. Put that old man and them corrupt deeds off of you. And put Elohim on. What's so hard about that? It comes down to two things. And see, unfortunately, when I was mentioning earlier that most women like a man who can teach them something. See, you can fake like you know something. But see, there's it's another attribute that most women like that niggas try and they fake it for a little while. But that gets exposed over time, and that's discipline and consistency. See, you can't be nothing other but disciplined to serve God. And that's gonna show over time if you're not. But you know what people don't like to do? Prove nobody out. Shoot, he nice with the scriptures, girl. He be teaching me a lot of stuff. How long you know them? Scriptures after dark, scriptures in the day. These niggas don't wait after dark. Shoot, Akut, you want me to come over there in the morning?
Cool.
Yeah, because he trying to tell you something. I'm trying to bump uglies with you. I hear people say, how can people use the word to get sex? Well, that's what they've been doing on Sundays for years. Shoot. But at the end of the day, I noticed this is what I would tell them. Like, I know if you know women, most men know the characteristics that women like. So they pretend to have them. Do you know what I'm saying? It's some things that get exposed over time. But shoot, most women don't prove this nigga out. I've been told you a long time ago, let no booty be on the table. You'll see how much he like you. You'll see how much he like you then. Because if a man pursuing you and he know he can't have sex with you, he wants you. But most of these niggas be like, they say, I can't have no sex. They're going to do one or two things. They're going to pressure you to get married quickly. Do you know what I'm saying? Or they gonna peel.
This be the thing. A lot of girls out here now, they be wanting it too.
Oh yeah, a lot of them want it, but that ain't no excuse.
Yeah, ain't no excuse.
But the thing is though, a lot of them do be wanting it, so that's what cloud their judgment because that's all they looking for. And then he putting the pressure on them, and then well, it feels right. He cares about me. What he did for you? What I read the other day. Shoot. I tried it once. I'd never do it again. You ain't got. I read what cuz say. He said hard times and the hard on don't go together. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down though. You got niggas ain't even got no money. It's one thing if you like, hey, I'm interested in you. I'm trying to build on something, and you know. But boy, nigga trying to hunch ain't got no bread. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga around here hunching on a bed sheet. Nigga hunching in public restrooms, in the car, at somebody else's house. Like this here. And you got a wet behind and a dry pocket. How that happen? You don't want to have no wet behind, no dry pocket.
It's showing that's what they want.
Yeah, nah, but shoot. But if you go, and I ain't condoning it. But if you got a wet behind and a dry pocket, you might need to put a price on that because you stupid anyway. You might want to put a price on that. Don't let nobody do you like that. I'm like, if you gonna sin, sin. That's how I see it. If you gonna sin, sin. Don't halfway sin. Go all the way out with it. Do it the right way. Get some money for it. Enjoy yourself if you're going to hell. Don't go to hell. Don't go to hell with a wet butt, unsatisfied, and broke. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, might as well get you a couple dollars out of the deal. That's what Cub was talking about. And they say, you always got I see you with 3-4 different dudes. Then you calling me talking about, I need my car fixed. Well, where was that nigga when you call going rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat? You calling me.
Nah, he called her. Hey, your comments look, dog.
Like, come on, man. We don't even think about that stuff. Like, and I noticed it too. I move on, right? Because it's a sister on my page. She do it all the time. Every time she posts about a man being accountable or talking about being a husband to somebody, niggas always come for her. You know, it's hard for Hebrew men in America and all this. Man, nigga don't want to hear all that, bro. You's a grown man. You know what I'm talking about? Why? I've never understood why niggas don't want to be accountable who deal with this word. Grown men. Acts 3 and 13. I don't understand it. You understand it? Cause boy, niggas don't want to be accountable. Nigga find out they're Hebrew, all of a sudden accountability go out the window. Wicked, no good bastards. Nigga ought to be hung from a tree by their penis and kicked in their face. The Elohim of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, and the Elohim of our fathers have esteemed his son Yahushua, whom you delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go. But ye denied the Kadesh one and the just, and desired a murder to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom Elohim raised from the dead, whereof we are his witnesses. And his name through faith in his name, through faith in his name, have made this man strong, whom you see and know. Yea, the faith which is by him have given him perfect soundness in the presence of you all. And now, brethren, I wot that through ignorance ye did it, as did also your rulers. But those things which Elohim before had showed by the mouth of his prophets, that a Mashiach should suffer, he hath so fulfilled. So when we look at this here, right, in that Deuteronomy 29, I didn't give you ears to perceive or a heart to perceive and all the stuff that he mentioned. They were not able to know about that work of this man's crucifixion, of his death. They didn't know. Remember what he told them in Matthew, when he told them what? That no man can see the Son except the Father, and whomsoever the Father will reveal the Son to. You know what I'm saying? He say many prophets and wise men have sought to see the things that you see and hear the things that you've heard and have not heard. See, we were talking about this the other day, and it's the same token. I was talking to Stan about this the other day too. Like, some of our people take it for granted because niggas don't get to hear what we get to hear as forth as your God. Not that we something special, but that your God, so you can know him, so you can hear him, so you can see him, and so you can become one with him. So we end up taking it as this is ho-hum till you actually hear other niggas expound on the word, and then you realize their eyes are shut and their ears are closed and they can't understand with their heart lest they will be healed. Because if you understand Yahushua, you would never open your mouth and say, I can never stop sinning. You would never open your mouth and say that. So if you know Yahuwah, you're not going to open your mouth and say that. Because the reason being, because you know. These same people that say you can't stop sinning are going to be the same people say, kill that nigga. He's speaking against Torah. These are the same people going to do it. I see, but we're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to unite. But let's look at see if Isaiah 65 tell you something about uniting. Don't get me wrong now. Those who are in Hamashiach are going to unite. Please don't get it twisted. Do you know what I'm saying? All Yasharal is not going to unite. Those that are in Elohim are going to unite. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. Just because you know you a brood nigga and you claim you keep Torah don't mean you in Elohim. You can sell that, but you can sell that to somebody else. You won't sell it to me. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, and ye shall be ashamed. We dealt with this before. Do you know why his servants will be eating and drinking?
I don't know why his servants will be eating and drinking.
Yeah, he said, my servant shall eat, and you shall be hungry, and my servant shall drink, and you shall be thirsty. My servant shall rejoice, but you will be ashamed. Also, my servants will sing for joy, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Yeah, the feast, right?
Yeah. But let's look at it in another aspect. They definitely at the feast. And the howling for vexation of spirit is a nigga burning in hell.
That's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying? What did Hamashiach say all the time? There'll be what? And gnashing of teeth. Wouldn't that be that weeping? Wouldn't that be a howl? Because your spirit is vexed. But let's look at this other statement, though. Matthew chapter 5 about being hungry and then being thirsty. Oh, yeah. He telling you what's going to happen. See, people read over that stuff and look right at. I told you. Nigga tried to break down something out of the script the other day. That junk was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was so horrible, I forgot where I was going. Matthew chapter 5. Shoot, the other day, what I told you about. It was horrible. I was just outright, I was flabbergasted and appalled. Nigga tried. I give you an A for effort. But an F for execution. Matthew 5 and 5. 5 and 6, actually. Blessed are they which... Yeah, you get an F for execution. You get an A for effort, but an F for execution. Because you ain't executed. You tried. I give you an A for trying. I give you an F for doing. Baruch are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. What did he tell you in Revelation 22? Everyone that, matter of fact, what did he tell the woman at the well about that water? This is water that what? If you drink, you'll never thirst. So when you drink of the Ruach Elohim, you'll never thirst. So those who are thirsty is because they don't have no spirit in them. They don't have no living water in them. Those who are hungry is because they never ate his body or ate his flesh or ate his word. So that's why that's why they're not rejoicing. Because we can read Revelation 19 and they say, hallelujah. We just dealt with it in Jeremiah 33 when he said, you're going to hear the voice of joy, the voice of the bride, the voice of the bridegroom. Say a hallelujah of hosts, for Yahuwah is good and his mercy endures forever. Verse 15, though, he said, he shall leave your name for a curse unto the chosen, unto my chosen, for Yahuwah Elohim shall slay thee and shall call his servants by another name. That's pretty ugly. There's another one like this here, and I'm missing the verse where he say, you were rejected for my name's sake. But Yahushua told you that plenty times. Plenty times. These people not going to receive you. These people don't really love Yahuwah, regardless of what people say out their mouth. You know what I'm saying? So let's take ourselves back to Job 31. I don't think I will hold nothing now. We had about an hour and 12 minutes. Matter of fact, before we go to Job 31, Malachi 3 and 15, maybe about 17. We'll go ahead and pull the word for discern out of that. But I want you to think about that when you think about being innocent. Like I said, when we pull that innocent out of what? Job 4? No, Psalm 24 is where I got it from. And that word, that word for innocence, I take that back to Nakad. That's exactly what that meant. It literally means to be free from punishment and to be free from guilt. And I actually had a different sentence for that one there than what I mentioned, because we can also look at the Son of Light's actions. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'll do it like this here, right? Come over here to John. I can't read 1 John because I don't got the page. But 1 John tell you that Elohim is what? Light. And no part what? Darkness. And whosoever dwell in darkness is not in him. Because let's go to John 12. Now I got it. We'll go to John 12. Look at what Hamashiach stated, right? Because remember, right? John chapter 3 tell you that those who are the darkness hate the light and they don't come to the light lest their what? Deeds should be corrected. See, what you gotta do is pay attention to niggas. If niggas run from people who hold them accountable. They run from it. Because Yahusha already told you this. He say, they that are of the light do what? Come to the light. So that their work can be manifest that it's in who? In Elohim. Mm-hmm. A nigga who is not of the light is going to run from the light because the light is going to manifest what? That the works are of the devil. This is talking about discernment now. So y'all, we went over some of this here basically in a different fashion when we were talking about knowing who's chosen and who ain't. Niggas say a lot of things. Niggas, you know what niggas want to argue about? Say the name. It's Yahweh. It's Yahweh. It's Yahuwah. It's Yah. You know, it's Yahweh Shai. It's Yahusha. It's Yeshua. That's what nigga want to argue about. Who is Esau? Is the earth flat? How many wives? Nigga worry about how many wives he had, can't take care of himself.
He's the earth.
Is the earth flat? It's about truth, brother. Well, truth is a mock, nigga. Firmness and soundness and faithfulness in Yahuwah. Do you got that? Cause like I said, cause guess what? If you could tell me the earth flat, but you can't tell me you can stop lusting, brother, you spending the wrong time in the wrong things. You can't. You can't stop lying. Nigga, how you keep? You already know how I feel about cheating on your wife. You know good disloyal bastard, you. What it is, man? John 12:35. Then Yahushua said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walk in darkness know not whither he go. Pause. 2 Corinthians 4:4, and then we'll come to John chapter 3, which I reference because I just want to put it out there in the street. You got a lot of people, they ain't going to come to that light. That's why I told you, niggas say they got a problem with me. You don't want to come to me because you're lying. Because you're lying. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you doing, because if you're doing it in secret, that means you don't want to bring it to the light for it to be examined. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, they be like, well, what's the issue? Come talk to me about it. I don't want to talk about it because it's not real. Because when you bring that bunky crap in the light, it's going to be exposed. It's big. See, you tried to sell it to me and told me they were brownie mix and it was monkey crap. But you know what I'm saying? But see, the people you hanging with, they know that's brownie mix. They think it's brownie mix because you put a little bit of chocolate in that. But see, when you brought it, I smelt that this was monkey crap. I smelt it 10 miles before you brought it. And you drop it on you want some of my brownies? Come on, cuz. Don't play with me. I'm a full adult. I'm a whole boy. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny.
2 Corinthians 4:4. Make it 4:3. He said, if our basar, gospel be hid, is hid to them that are lost, and whom the Elohim of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the esteemed basar of Hamashiach, who is the image of Elohim, should shine unto them. So nigga can't see because they walking in darkness. Because why is the Elohim of this world or the God of this world blinded their eyes? Because he said what? They like to sin. The lust of your father you will do. So you like to be a sinner. You like to do ungodly things. That's why you make excuses for it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make no excuse for it. I know if I was to go out here right now and do something I ain't got no business, I know full well I have to go straight to hell for it. You know what I'm saying? We all flesh, brother. You know, we got to be, everybody falls. We all fall short. I ain't got no business falling short being a new creature in the Mashiach. Because if you are a new creature in the Mashiach, that means you heard the gospel. That means you willfully went and did that. Do you know what I'm saying? You willfully went and did that. We know the law say ain't no sacrifice. Ain't no sacrifice for no willful sin in this law. You ain't gonna find it. You know what I'm saying? And I heard the dude say that in his statement when he meant like you could just, it's like it'd be funny to me because people say that and then y'all have them say something that's actually condemning their statements. Because I know full well I had no business taking no woman's clothes off and putting my penis inside her. I know full well that's not my wife. I'm not married to this woman. You know what I'm saying? What I look like taking them people's stuff? That's not mine. You knew that before you did it.
Who? Right. I thought it was
Pat nigga, that wow.
my eyes was closed. I was like, oh, wait,
On
what?
a Friday night, boy, if they was that dirty, niggas would pay on time. You hear me?
All the time. Double time.
On your Friday night,
You couldn't even prepare your calendar.
What else is the other thing in my life? I ain't got no business worshiping, popping up at no Christmas party. Nigga come out there, boy, that nigga had a chain on, boy, a cross on it, boy. He was singing jingle bells. I jumped there. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. You knew what was wrong before you came. You know what I'm saying? But guess what some people try to do? Think they can get you to slip and fall? What, trying to go to the Christmas party?
Yeah,
You want to sing Jingle Bells and Frosty the Snowman?
no.
You want to sing Frosty the
I think
Snowman?
it was just because everybody was in town.
I could care less who around there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Boy, Yahushua himself could have been around there. I ain't going because I know that ain't you, Lord, because you ain't supposed to be there. Straight up. Well, I don't care who around there. I ain't going. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm dead serious about it. But I've been like that for days. Well, I don't care who around there. I ain't going. It's about family. Shoot. Ain't none of my family. Not doing that. That was my attitude from the beginning. I'm talking about my mama them came when that first one after I got out. Been dealing with the word. Everybody around there asking about you. Well, shoot, they knew where I was at. Straight. Yeah. They could have came. Look at she over there looking like somebody's grandma.
I knew you were saying that, though. I knew that to kill me.
What's that?
I look OG.
Looking like somebody's grandma. It's all right, baby. Get my cools out my purse.
Not the coolest.
Yeah, she don't smoke the Newport. She got smoke cool. She look like one of them grandmas smoke cool.
Of the jeans slim.
No, she don't slim. They too small. See cool. She can put them out, come back for later. Just got the right amount of menthol.
That boy sound like he's
What was that, man? Come on, man. John chapter 3. She said it's been a long day. That real though. You know what I'm saying? And I know that too. I mean, a lot of people feel like that. Man, my family around there. That's what them do. And guess what brews do? Man, it don't matter, man. Ain't no pagan holiday. You know, it's day for family.
it's fake.
Man, I care left with a day for family, whoever. I ain't going. You niggas know where I stay at. I ain't trying to hear that crowd.
I'm not for that now, but I feel like
All right, well, I know you ain't talking about now, but I'm talking about I ain't want to hear now Christmas song. It was only one Christmas song a nigga ain't wanted to hear. Oh God, no. And that's just because them niggas can sing.
what Temptations?
No, man, I don't know who them niggas is saying, and this Christmas will be. That's the only song a nigga want to hear.
Better knock it down.
That ain't no Michael Jackson. Nigga know Michael Jackson, boys.
Yeah, that was Mama out there doing Santa Claus.
Yeah, but other than that,
I don't
shoot.
even know the Santa song.
I don't either. John 3:19.
Chris Brown.
3:18. Shoot, I ain't care. You know, I told y'all, I knew young that Santa Claus wasn't real. My mama got mad at me. I said, Mama, Santa Claus handwriting same as yours. I'm sitting there looking at the gift from Santa,
She put that on your
from Mama. I'm like, nigga, the handwriting's the same. Nigga, I'm 6. I'm not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I can perceive. I have a little discernment. Nothing. I say, well, how Santa Claus got in here? We ain't got no chimney. I left the front door open. You lying.
I used to think that too.
No, but I used to find them where they
Because my room window was in front of my grandma's car, so
lying.
got the window and see the stuff out the trunk.
They ain't even they had the junk in the house and I find it. So they tried to hide it at my auntie house and then I go over there and find it.
Grandma peeped that and she started taking some Uncle Calvin house. Them Uncle Calvin come at 6 in the morning and put it in the house.
Because my auntie used to be like, you're ruining the surprise. Auntie, I don't care nothing about no surprise. You could have gave me a gift 2 weeks ago. I ain't never been one for surprises. I don't care nothing about that.
I think we did that maybe 2 years.
I don't care nothing about that.
It's that.
There you go, right? He that believe on him is not condemned. He that believe not is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Elohim. This is the condemnation, that light is come into the world. Men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that do evil hate the light, neither come to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that do truth come to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in Elohim. So remember, we talked about that also last week about him trying your heart, right? To examine it, to see what's in it. Now again, when we're looking at innocency, and some of these words are going to transfer over to tomorrow. This is something that causes you to be free from guilt or punishment, or to be clean, or to be clear. That's why we started with that Psalms 24, and he said the things that person won't do. So if you are innocent or quiet, there's certain things, there's certain actions or works that you are not going to do. Let's go to Malachi chapter 3, then we work this Job, so I can show the difference between the two, because Job 31 is going to show a little difference between the two. Because Malachi got a different word for discern. Because don't you think after being in the word, you should be able to tell a wicked nigga from a righteous nigga? I would hope so. Because a lot of people can't tell the difference. There's a lot of niggas marrying wicked people. There's a lot of people friends with wicked people. And be going for it. You can't fool me. You can fool the people. You ain't gonna fool me. See, like I said, that's when they see he think he better than people. I don't think I'm nothing. I didn't know you wicked as hell, and I don't want nothing to do with you. That I know. Do you know what I'm saying? That I know. I know my God don't want nothing to do with you. You ought to repent. That's what you ought to do. Yeah, people don't like to hear that. That's what some people can't repent. You know why some people can't repent? Why you think some people can't repent?
Because it was already wrong.
Okay, I get it. Why you think some people can't repent? Because they what? In too deep. Why you think some people can't repent? That's true, but also I done sworn my wrath that you will not enter into my rest. So shoot, you can't repent. You scarred. He done already swore. That nigga going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. And why you going? My bad. Why you going to hell? Because you're unbelieving. Because you're disobedient. Because you murmur. Because you complain. Because you're a hypocrite. Because you hate righteousness. You hate the truth. And you just an outright no good bastard. And not only that, but you bring rebellion and insurrection. You try to get other people to follow behind you in your wickedness. You notice, like I said, I know y'all don't know. You notice niggas get mad with you when you don't want to follow with them in wickedness no more. Ain't that what Peter told you?
Think it's strange.
Think it's strange. You don't run after the same etc. riot. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't even talking about niggas in the world. I'm talking about niggas in the word. Okay, you was in the word. You was smoking a little weed. Maybe you were doing a little hunching, a little stealing, a little lying. Now you like this here. You know what? I ain't gonna do a little stealing, a little lying no more. I ain't gonna do no more hunching. You know what I'm saying? I ain't smoking no more bud. No, I don't want your fermented grapes. See, that nigga think he better than us, bro. He trying to be too perfect. That's a nigga going here. And he wants you to go with him. 3:16. Then they that feared Yahuwah spake often one to another, and Yahuwah hearkened and heard it. This is Malachi 3:16. And the book of remembrance was written before them that feared Yahuwah, and they that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith Yahuwah of hosts, and the day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spares his own son, that serves him. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, and between him that serve Elohim and him that serve him not. So with this one here, he says, a book of remembrance is written before them that feared and thought on the name of Yahuwah. He said he'll be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Now, the word for discern here is ra'ah. You remember we use ra'ah for? That's one of the words for pastor. So when we look at ra'ah,
I thought it's R-A.
when we come in with that ra'ah, we got that Raj, and we got a little olive, and we got a little hay. So when we look at this one here, when you be able to perceive or to consider or to discern or to distinguish, we know, well, hey, we're going to be able, let's say we're going to be able to behold or revealed, but we'll just take behold. And we'll sit back and look at the strength of the head. Because he said this is how you're going to be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked. So you're not going to be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked if the revealing of the strength of the head is not in you. You're not going to be able to see that. You know, I'm trying to think of an example I want to use for this. Okay, Matthew chapter 12. No, Matthew 7. We'll just keep it simple. To keep it real, real simple. Everybody screamed this here, right? Because we were talking about this here before. When we're looking at fruits and the things that an individual is producing, we look at 7 and 15. He says, well, make it 7 and 13. He said, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that lead unto destruction. Many there be which go thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which lead unto life, and there be few there that find it. So when we look at this here, right? When you look at a straight gate, it's tight, it's disciplined. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a way that everybody don't want to go in. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed, I don't care if it's just a word, have you ever noticed the more stringent or disciplined or difficult something is, the less and less people want to do it? Do you know what I'm saying? And it could be you could have done stuff for that individually. It was something you wanted to do, and then you seen you had to put in a little work, and then you wasn't as enthusiastic as you was when you first said you wanted to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it got a little tight for you. When people see this word, they, oh, we Hebrews. I don't know pork on my fork. See, you Christians, y'all keeping the Sabbath on the wrong day. See, it was all good with that there because you were still dumping your Dunkin' stick in some milk, and you were still doing everything that you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't tight. Next thing you know, it started getting a little tight. You gotta gird up your loins like a man. Man, oh man, see that brother know what he talking about. Yeah, you know. Next thing you know, you're doing all type of stuff.
Back laying in something.
Back laying in something. Some of them get turned over to strange flesh. That's what he said he'd do though. I'm just saying what he said he'll do. He said he'd give you over to a reprobate mind to do those things that are not convenient. That's what it said, right? That's the only reason why I said it. So next thing you know, you malicious and you like to say, I never knew him to be like that. He just done got evil. Because 7 unclean spirits done came out of man and he been garnished and swept. And now 7 more unclean spirits done came into it. Now the state of the man was worse than when it started. That's what it say. But you don't want to go back to be a worse sinner than what you were when you started. And he'll allow you to. So, because you despise government, that's what he said. You're self-willed. You want to do what you want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Y'all can't do nothing with somebody who want to do what they want to do. I done already told you this here. You can't serve y'all and run your own life. Either you going to serve y'all and your life be for y'all, or you're not going to serve him. But you can't serve him and serve yourself. Why you think he told you you can't have 2 masters? You're going to love one and hate the other. You're going to cleave to one and you're going to reject the other. And that's what we looking at. You trying to keep your life and serve y'all at the same time. He said, he that loses life for my sake shall gain it. You're going to have to lose it. You're going to have to give it up. So guess what? That dream vacation, that dream job, that dream bit, if it conflict with y'all's word, it's not according to his will you forsake it. What do you think he asked his apostles? He said, we forsook everything. What will we get? Them boys walked away from everything. Nobody don't even have that type of mind to even sit back and look at that. They walked away from everything, and they didn't sit back and say, man, I want to go back to doing what I... They walked away. That baby gone. Well, hey, they say that good luck. But she was looking like, I gotta go to school. It's time to go to work already. Say, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. Do man gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bring forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruit. So there's where we already talked about this recently, right? There's an example of talking about discerning. We dealt with this with the what? The tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That tree brought forth corrupt fruit because that tree told a bold-faced what? Lie. When you're talking about fruits, you're talking about the examples of one's behavior. Does one's behavior line up with Yah? You can't tell me you're a good tree, but you sin every now and then. You're a corrupt tree. Because what did he say? A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So you can't tell me you're a good tree, but you sin every Thursday. I don't sin on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays. Tuesdays borderline. Mondays and out. But definitely on Thursday. You're not a good tree. You're an evil tree. This was the master's words, correct? Say what it say. So we're supposed to look at that. He said he's giving you an inkling of kind of like what Malachi just said. This allows you to be able to discern, because then you'll be able to see that the strength of the head is not in that evil tree. It's not there. What is the strength? But your trust in Yahuwah. Your trust in Yahuwah gets you what? The Ruach HaKadosh. We already looked at that. If the Ruach HaKadosh is in you, what is it going to cause you to do? Keep his word. You're not going to break it. We wonder why everybody be sinning all the time, because the Ruach ain't in them. You have to sit back and look at the things that you invest your time in. You know why a lot of niggas don't grow spiritually? They don't invest enough time with Yahuwah. But you can tell me about power, though, and you can tell me about what it is, the Orange is the New Black. You can tell me about every album that just came out. You know what my mama used to tell me all the time if my grades was subpar? If you studied these books like you did these baseball cards, you wouldn't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? Dead serious though. But guess what? We study everything else but Yahuwah, and you can tell me more about some crap out here in the world than you can about your God. That's shameful. That's shameful. You shouldn't be able to tell me more about a television show than you can tell me about your God. Do you know what I'm saying? We know everything that go on in some sinners' lives, but you can't tell me nothing that go on in a righteous man's life that's written right here in this book. We seen a whole bunch of niggas going crazy because a black man like white women. I don't care who that nigga like. He going to hell in the women he sleeping with, so what I care? Niggas was going mad about that. Oh, he's not attractive anymore. If you was in the world and you found him attractive, you ought to go to hell with it. Cause you ain't no telling what that nigga doing. Cause he looked like he like more than white and strawberry milk. He looked like he like condensed milk. You know what I mean? Am I lying though? You know why all the niggas got horny? They might have liked him before. They seen him in Black Panther, lost their mind. I seen somebody say he ain't as big no more because it was for the movie, baby. They don't keep it on. He got another movie to do. He might have to get fat for it.
That's crazy. They gotta do this.
And that's why a lot of them die young too. Because you ain't supposed to be fluctuating like that. That's not healthy for your body. You know what I'm saying? To go from being 250 to 180, you know what I'm saying? Back to 225. Nigga, take me as I am, or give me, I'm just not gonna do it. You seen Denzel? Denzel got good and fat for what that movie was? For Roman Israel, he got good and fat for it.
That nigga look nasty on that.
Yeah, he definitely had
Nice curl.
that nigga definitely had a penguin body, you know, the Danny DeVito body. He messed up, but they're serious though. You know what I'm saying? Like we invest a lot of quality time and stuff that if you know more of what's going on in the world than you know about y'all, you a candidate to go to hell. Do you know what I'm saying? You's a strong candidate. If you can tell me you got more understanding, and I ain't saying that it's nothing wrong if you want to go watch your old television show and catch your old moving picture, but you should spend as much time as you want to spend entertaining yourself. You ought to be entertaining yourself with your God. And I think that's our problem living in this country. Y'all want to be entertained. You think life about entertainment. I want to have some fun. Well, I hope you have some fun when you howling for vexation of spirit. You know what I'm saying? Life is not for fun. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 say, here's the conclusion of the matter. The whole duty of man is to fear Elohim and keep his commandments. That's what you're here for. Don't let these white people get you in trouble now. Because who came up with entertainment? These white folks. To do what? To get your money. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost. And then to distract you. You know what I'm saying? It's your money first. Because best believe it's for the bread. But at the same time, I'm going to... Why you think they put a church on every corner? To distract you and to get your bread. But they wanted that bread first. And then the distraction is just, what they call it, collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? It can't be simple. You got to be wiser than that. Yeah, to keep it. Because guess what, though? Nigga kept that TV on, be stuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always mess with my mom and them about that. We talk about television characters like they real people. These are not real people. But guess what, though? When the last time you seen a whole bunch of people sit around and read a book and talk about the characters in the book like they were real people? Not just this book, any book. Well, you do that? I know she do that.
I mean, that's how I see TV. I see TV as character development. Because I don't even think about the writers. I was like, dang, this is some good writers. Anyway.
I mean, I've looked at many a show and many a movie and be like, whoever you hired to write this, you need to fire him. You know what I'm saying? Because this nigga sucks. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
That was.
Shoot, why you playing? Every time I watch Raw, I'm like, boy, Vince McMahon, you need to fire yourself and the nigga. It's your company. You need to fire yourself and fire the nigga who wrote that promo. You know what I'm saying? Because that promo was horrible. Yeah, he don't. Sometimes you got to watch old Rock promos if you want to see a good one. And you don't get no good one on there now. That joint supposed to be funny. That joint just like, who wrote this? You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, though, you got to spend just as much time with y'all as you spend with the outside world. And if the outside world is becoming too much of a priority, then I'm discerning you ain't serving Yahuwah. He got to poop. He got to do a little poo. Come on to Job 31. A little poo ain't never hurt nobody. Job 31:6. Let's look at a little discernment, and we're going to try to slice and dice through it. What time is it?
11 o'clock.
All right. We good. I got 20, 30 more minutes. I can make it. Let me be weighed in the even balance that Elohim may know my integrity. Listen what he said. If my step have turned out of the way, and my heart walked after my eyes, if any blot have cleaved to my hands, then let me sow and another eat, and let my offspring be rooted out. So now he just stated, if I walked after my own eyes. Let's take a look at something in the law, Deuteronomy 29. This is what Job's stating. He said he's stating if he did any of these things, then he gonna state what should happen to him if he did it. Deuteronomy 29, verse 17. Verse 16, or verse 15. But with him stand here with us this day before Yahuwah Elohim, and also with him that is not here with us this day. For you know how we dwelt in the land of Mizraim, and how we came through the nations which passed by. And you've seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which are among them. Lest there should be among you man or woman, or family or tribe, whose heart turn away this day from Yahuwah Elohim, to go and serve the gods of these nations. Lest there should be among you a root that bear gall and wormwood. And if it come to pass that when he hear the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have shalom, though I walk in the imagination of my heart to add drunkenness to thirst, let Yahuwah will not spare him. Then the anger of Yahuwah and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him, and Yahuwah shall blot out his name from under Shamahim. So we done already talked. If a nigga walk in the own imagination of his heart and say, y'all gonna bless me, that nigga going to hell. What the law say? That nigga going to hell. That's what it said, right? That nigga going to hell. If a nigga walk around here and bless himself in his heart as he's doing his own will and say, I'm going to have peace, ain't nothing bad going to happen to me, that nigga going to hell. And I don't care how nobody feel about it. Is that what the law just said? That's what the law just said, right? You going to hell. You going to hell. You know why you going to hell? Because you a proud bastard. You know what I'm saying? That you can hear all this law, all this gospel, walk after your own heart and say, Yahuwah bless me, brother. See, you can't speak on my life. Because you got bros who talk like that. You can't speak on my life. Shoot, your life speaking for you, and you going to hell. Shoot, I ain't got to speak on your life. Your life doing all the talking. It's talking loud, too. Who? Boy, if I was out of pocket, I wouldn't be mad if a nigga told me I was going to hell. Shoot. Tell me something I didn't know. Before I started dealing, I remember dude told me we had a conversation, man. I told him, yeah, man, my homeboy died. I said, dang, boy, my little dog finna go to hell, man. He said, boy, how you know he going to hell? Shoot, nigga, I know that nigga. What you mean? He wasn't serving y'all. I'm the reason, along with his older brother and a couple of niggas, why this man started selling crack. Because he was watching us. I said, well, I knew I was going to hell before the word. How you knew? Let's see, I just told you I sold crack. I've committed fornication a time or two, smoked a little weed, broke a little Sabbath, worshiped a few idols. You know, shall I continue? I'm just being honest, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have no thoughts in my head, like, if I die, I'm going to go to heaven. Shoot. I ain't know nothing about that book, but I knew I was going to hell, though. I said, ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to meet God doing all this here. This ain't possible. You know what I'm talking about? I had enough common sense to know that ain't no book. I say, ain't nowhere in the world be living like this here and I'm going to meet God. Ain't nowhere in the world. I remember my homeboy said something about, he was doing something, going to pay a deal, and he said something, he was like, oh, Lord. And he said, don't call on God's name when you're doing the work of the devil. And guess what niggas be doing? Calling on y'all's name, doing the work of the devil. What we were just talking about right there, taking Yah's name in vain. We talked about it last week. You blaspheming in man's name. You say you represent Yahuwah, but yet you just can't control yourself. You're a wicked, disobedient, rotten, stiff-necked, just mean even just a bastard. You're just a not even that one there. That's a good one though. You're just a hooligan. You know what I'm talking about? Refuse, a miscreant, if you will. You know what I'm talking about?
Rat bastard up,
Rat bastard always at the top. 'Cause that's a mob word, you rat bastard. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you don't want to be that person. Like, who wants to be that person that knows every day? See, Acts 24 and 14. Who wants to be that person? Your conscience needs to be clear. Why your conscience ain't clear? And you want to see, don't lie to me. I don't say I ain't grow up like that. My mama didn't do it. My auntie didn't do it. My peers didn't do it. Don't lie to me. Don't try to blow no smoke up my behind. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit me with that hard truth, man. Look here, boy. Shoot. Nigga looked at me like, bro, how much time you gonna get? I say, shoot, nigga, I don't know. But they gonna let you go home? Probably not. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up. I ain't finna lie to myself. Boy, I'm gonna get out today, boy, when I go to court. Shoot, nigga, I'm gonna see you nigga tomorrow. Nigga, them crackers ain't finna let a nigga go. Nigga come back, bro, they ain't let me out. Shoot, nigga, did you read your charges? Shoot, you know what you in here for? You know what I'm saying? I see my little homeboy come by. It's sometimes, though, you be wanting a nigga to be lying to you. My little dog say, boy, they gave me 25. I say, boy, stop playing, man, you lying. I knew he wasn't lying, because I seen the look in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? 19 with 25. But shoot, the nigga was carjacking. So I'm like, well, shoot, nigga, what you thought they were going to give?
That's tough.
And yeah, it was tough when he pulled that lady up out of her car and almost gave her a heart attack. Shoot, carjacking. Nigga, ain't no way. You can get a carjacking. Carjacking don't matter if you got a gun or not. Carjacking, 30 years maximum sentence. Or it could be a life sentence. Nigga, that's a violent felony. But you thought you were going to get 2 to 5 and go home?
Shit, that doesn't seem like it's worse than breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering is nothing. That's burglary. There's no breaking and entering in this state. That's nothing. Armed robbery, home invasion, carjacking. I'm going to holler at you. You not going anywhere for a while. Somebody send that nigga some money. Because he going to need some zoom zooms and wham wham. And you're going to end up like Jit in that video Dwight put in the thing. If you see, that's the example, right? You seen the young boy, he ain't fold. The little black boy, he ain't fold. That white boy went to combing that nigga chest out. Episode of Scared Straight had 2 little. I seen it. So the dude talking about the nigga say, nigga, and you gonna be my hoe, nigga, and you gonna comb my chest hair. And he gave the little white boy the comb. He said, comb his hair, nigga, comb it. That white boy said. He came to the black boy, the black boy, he was scared now. He said, boy, I ain't combing your chest hair, bro. I ain't combing your chest hair. He stood his ground though. But guess what though? That white boy was gonna be scarred if he was in there for real. Guess what? That black boy would have been too. But see, that's the difference. Nigga would have respected him though.
Yeah.
No, if he would have stood his ground and not did it, they'd have swung on him. And if he would have fought back, nigga left him alone. If they didn't rape him. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let me leave this off. Acts 24 and 14. That's here. They didn't rape him. I'm trying to tell you. That wasn't in Florida. So that was somewhere where niggas get raped. But this I confess. Straight up. They rape in Florida, but it ain't prevalent. But other states, I can't say the same.
Oh.
Yes, sir. That's what he was saying. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so I worship I, the Elohim of my Abbas, believe in all things which were written in Torah and in the prophets, and have hope towards Elohim, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust. And herein I do exercise to have always a conscience void of offense towards Elohim and towards man. Paul said he seeks to exercise or to have a conscience void of offense. So when we look at what Job was stating, if he turned out of the way and his heart walked after our own eyes, if any blot have cleaved to his hands, he say, then let somebody else sow and somebody else eat, and his offspring be rooted out. So what does that mean into that offspring? What did the Mashiach say? Come back to Job 31. What did the Mashiach say in what? In John 6, right? I didn't come to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Matthew 13 talk about who came and sowed that seed. The devil came and sowed the seed. And that they had to sow them, rip those weeds or those tares out of the earth. Because he said, let somebody else sow and somebody else eat and let his children be rooted out of the earth. But we know that the children of Elohim ain't going nowhere. They will inherit the earth. Job 31:9. He said, if my heart has been deceived by a woman, or if I've laid at wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her. What does that sound like to you? You know what he just said? He just sat back and said that if I went and laid with another man's wife, let somebody lay with mine. That's what he said. So you got to look at all the things that Job's saying. Job's saying, if I did any of these things, then let this happen to me. So when you look at, have I laid in wait at my neighbor's door? Yahushua didn't lay in wait at his neighbor's door. You know who did? And the scribes. Because we need to be able to discern between the righteous and the wicked. See, the wicked lay in wait. When you lay in wait, what you laying in wait to do? Deceive. Because we just talked about that last week with them 6, 7 abominations. You laying in wait to deceive. Verse 10. Verse 11, I should say. Listen what he said. For this is a heinous crime. Yea, it is iniquity to be punished by the judges. So to sleep with another man's wife, he said that's a heinous. See, I was talking to the brother about that earlier. And I mean dead serious about that. See, I ain't finna kill a nigga about no woman. You lay with that, I was just telling him because Gilly the kid had me tripping, because then I went to think about the word. We laid down with many nations, and Yah never went and straightened them nations by us laying with them. He always came and straightened us. Because he ain't no lame. He a real dude. See, it was just funny to me how Gilly the kid put it. So he said, yeah, so you a S for L and a real goofy nigga. So you going to go ahead and go to prison for the rest of your life because your wife let another man put icing on her toaster strudels. Do you know what I'm saying? Because she willingly let another man glaze her donuts. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not finna argue and fight with no man about no woman who's supposed to be loyal to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't marry that dude. I'm not finna argue and fight about no one. You take her with you, brother. We talking about her, and if I catch you having sex in my house with it, I ain't finna argue with you for shoot, brother. You might as well help her pack her bag, because clearly she moving in with you. Indeed, brother, indeed. Shoot, there's some nigga like that. He told my boy, if I tell that nigga to leave, and he don't leave, I'm gonna swing on him. I said, you really want to swing on him because you were mad because he slept with your wife. It wasn't because he wouldn't leave your house. That's all that was. I ain't finna fight with you about no woman, man. I ain't finna argue with you about no woman. Because one thing I know, I can't control that woman's vagina or her body. She can do whatever she wants to with it. I can't stop who she gonna lay with. I can't do none of that. Just because I was telling them, like they said, well, we had talked about a while back. Like, out of respect, your mate gonna tell you where they going and who they with. But you ain't really got to tell me where you going and who you with, because it's not that I don't care. Shoot, if you sleep with another person, you telling me you were going to be here and be with this person don't mean that's where you were going. I trust that that's where you're going. I trust that you wouldn't lie to me and deceive me and do that to me. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, you stay over there where you at, you no good slut you. Because that's how I feel. If I'm dead serious, if I'm with you, because at that point you showed yourself to be a whore, because you showed a whore attribute. And you should feel the same way if I did it to you. Nigga, you stay your ragged behind over there where you was at, you no good slut you. Don't come back home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing here for you. Shop closed. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. And ain't no woman got no business around here embarrassing herself, arguing with no woman about no man. That woman didn't have no loyalty to you. That man did. He the one made a vow to you and said, you my wife. He the one signed the contract and said, I'm going to do this, that, there, and the third. So I've been told you that. If you can take her, you can have her. Because she wasn't never mine in the first place. Can't nobody take nobody that's yours. I don't care what y'all got going on. This, that, I was unhappy. No, you just a slut. That's what people be saying when they cheat on somebody. I wasn't happy. So instead of being an adult and sitting down with this person and having a conversation to try to fix whatever it is you wasn't happy about, it had to be about you and your happiness. So you decided to make yourself happy by opening your legs or pulling your penis out to another person. That's the adult thing to do. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what people do, though, ain't it? I ain't happy. So you decided to have sex with another person. Are you happy now?
Look, now what?
Are you happy now? It was just a temporary feeling. Now and guess what? That temporary feeling when they wasn't happy led to an outside child or a venereal disease. When all it could have been satisfied was you could have sat down with your mate and told them, I'm not happy. Well, why are you not happy? Well, this is why. Well, this is what we can do. But that sounds too much like the right thing to do. That's why I was. It's a light drip. Got him. Got him.
You definitely had to be asleep, man.
I was, but I know I'm gonna slide, but I don't slide.
So you think?
No, I'm not sitting up.
Maybe lay down.
31:12, right? 31:12, Job. He say, for it is a fire that consumed to destruction and will root out all my increase. So come over here to Proverbs chapter 6. So if you commit adultery, it's a heinous crime. It'll be judged. It'll be punished by the judge, and a fire will consume to destroy and root out all increase. So let's see how that'll tie the discern between the righteous and the wicked. It's going to be like a twofold thing. Proverbs 6:26. I'm finna let y'all go in just a moment. I know we're going along. It's late. I'm tired, but it don't make me nothing but different. 6:26. Matter of fact, 6:25. Matter of fact, 6:24. But 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the Torah is light, and the reproofs of instructions are the way of life. So the law is to do what? To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. See, if you know the, and I ain't gonna say that this is here for no woman. If you know the word, ain't nobody supposed to be coming flattering you, and you know they outside the word, and you be stupid enough to go for it. Do you know what I'm saying? You stupid enough to go for it because that's what you wanted to do. Didn't this man tell you not to be what? Unequally yoked with unbelievers? Why did he tell you not to fool with unbelievers? Because he talking about a strange woman. He talking about somebody who don't believe. So why are they trying to flatter you? To get you to stop from serving your God. That's why, remember, that's why the law told you not to marry no unbeliever, no Canaanite, no Jebusite, no Hittite, no Perizzite. Because he said they're going to turn your heart from following me. See, we don't believe it. I love him. I can convert them. One thing for certain, two things for sure. For the majority of the time, with about 99.9% accuracy. Huh?
Who?
Oh, no. Saul had some Hebrew women. Saul just was an idiot. That was Solomon. 99.9% of the time, if you sin to get somebody, and I'm really not going to refer to if you were sinning and you got them before the word, because clearly you were sinners. But if you supposed to be in the word and you sin to get them, then you're going to have to sin to keep them. It's going to have to be some compromise made on the word to keep this person, because the word was compromised for you to attain them in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying? You really want somebody who's not going to want you to compromise God's word, or who is not even going to bring up that there's going to be any compromising. Because that's when you would be able to discern that this is the person who was sent for you. Why would y'all send somebody to you talking about they want to be with you, but they want you to sin? Why would you even think, yeah, that's the man for me? How you know, girl? Did he ask you to do? He told me we can have sex. We're going to get married anyway. You put a look at her like, you know y'all ain't suck that nigga around here. Like, get over here and get you something. Come here a little closer. What the hell in your hand? You're going to have your Bible in your hand and you slap him across the head. Because clearly you stupid. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you would know. Why would y'all ever send anybody to you who's going to persuade you to sin? Your discernment should be able to say, you know what? Remember, Ra'ah are to discern between those who serve Yah, those who serve them not. You're going to be able to hold the strength of the head is not in them. So I know y'all ain't say, I pass, brother. I pass. Nah, sister, you won't flatter. You know the scripture so well. You so handsome. Yeah, that's what my mama told me. She birthed handsome children. You can go back where you came from. You can go back where you came from. That's how people get got. That flattery is how a lot of people get got. You so fine, you so beautiful, you so handsome, you so smart. I hear you. I hear you. When I hear all that over flattery, my ear go, this nigga evil. What he told you? Smooth as butter. Ain't that what he told you? Smooth word. That nigga over here asleep too, looking like somebody's granddaddy. Don't wake up, son. Listen what he tell you, right? Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. So if y'all don't know what that means, that man by means of a whorish woman, that whorish woman is Yasharal, that piece of bread is Yahusha's body, and of course you know he broke bread with his disciples with it. That adulterous woman was hunted for his precious life was Yasharal himself. Can a man take, or Yasharal as a nation, I should say. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Of course, we just talked about this recently. Yahusha went through the furnace of affliction. He took fire in his bosom and his clothes were not burned. Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? So he that go to his neighbor's wife, whosoever shall touch her, shall not be innocent. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso commit adultery with a woman lack understanding, and he that do it destroy his own soul. A wound of dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, for therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou give many gifts. So taking that, whoever commit adultery, right, is going to get judged by the judges. That's what he said in Job, right? It's a heinous crime. It's an iniquity to be punished by the judges, and the fire consumed to destruction that'll root out all his increase. What you think that's talking about? According to what we just read in Job and in Proverbs. Anybody on the stream, you want to throw one out there, go ahead and lob it. Go and shoot your shot. Make sure from the three-point line, 23 feet, 9 inches, make your shot count. You got an idea? I guess D want to go potty. You want to go potty? Let's see him go potty. You heard what I just read? You got any idea what I'm talking about?
I didn't hear what you just read.
Basically, he said that if a man commits adultery, it's a heinous crime that should be punished by the judges. A fire will consume to destruction and root out his increase. Proverbs say if a man commit adultery, he lack understanding. And that also, that even though he try to bring all manner of gifts, he'll get a wound and a dishonor, a reproach that cannot be removed. Because jealousy is the rage of a man. He won't spare in the day of his vengeance. And he's not going to regard any ransom, nor will he rest content, though you offer many gifts. Y'all got any idea what that could be talking about?
Times in discernment with them judges.
So with the judges.
Yeah, judges having to discern.
Okay. You want to take it? You got an idea? What about you, man? You got an idea?
Because what verse is it?
Because also, this I'll read again for y'all. Job 31, he says, if my heart have been deceived by a woman, which we seen that in Proverbs 6, right? Not letting a woman deceive you. Mm-hmm. Or if I've laid that weight at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her. For this is a heinous crime. Yea, it is iniquity to be punished by the judges. It is a fire that consumed to destruction and will root out all my increase. So he said, if I commit adultery, this is a heinous crime. It's an iniquity that's going to be punished by the judges. A fire consumed to my destruction, and it will destroy any increase that I have. It also says in Proverbs chapter 6 that if a man committeth adultery, he lacks understanding. He destroys his own soul. He'll get a wound. He'll get a dishonor. He'll get a reproach. The reproach or the sin can never be wiped away. Because jealousy is a rage of man. Therefore, that man won't spare the day of his vengeance. And he won't regard anything you try to ransom or any gift you try to give him to stop him from executing his wrath. We got 2 hours and 20 minutes. I got about 10 more minutes. I ain't going to get, I have to hold the rest.
Discern between blessing and destruction.
It's something like that. Adultery,
Well, let's look and see. Let me ask y'all a question. What Paul say Jerusalem was? What did he describe it as? Y'all know what he described it as? The mother of us all. So let's go to Revelation chapter 11 real quick. I'm asking a question. Yahushua ain't commit no adultery, did he? You know how we know we ain't commit no adultery? Because he said, I spread out my hands all the day to a rebellious people. He actually said, I'm sought by people that's not called by my name. Yahushua never went and laid down with another woman, nor laid that way at his neighbor's house to commit adultery, because that was a heinous crime. He never cheated on his wife. Ever. That's why it's one of the reasons why we went to Isaiah 65 along with other things. He never cheated on his wife. He said he's the what? The faithful Elohim, the faithful and true witness. So he never committed adultery. Revelation chapter 11, though, right? Verse 1, there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the Malachim stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of Elohim and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it's given unto the Gentiles, and the Kadesh city shall be tread down 42 months. So let me ask y'all this question. The beast is going to come through and do what? But he called it to deceive, to cause people to do what? He was laying in wait to do what? To commit adultery with his neighbor's wife. That's what he was laying in wait to do. So come on back to it real quick in Job 31. He said in Job 31, if my heart has been deceived by a woman, or if I've laid in wait at my neighbor's house, he said to do this is a heinous crime. This is a sin that's going to be punished by the judge, and a fire is going to consume to its destruction and get rid of all his increase. And you come back in Proverbs 6, he said, if you do this, you lack understanding, you destroy your own soul, you get a wound and a dishonor that cannot be wiped away, because jealousy is the rage of man, and he's not going to spare in the day of his vengeance. So let's come over here to Daniel chapter 8, right? And then we'll look at it, because the beast is going to come through to entice you to do what? He wants to sleep with another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? Some of those people are going to do what? Follow him. Therefore, he's going to get a wound and a dishonor which cannot be wiped away. It's a heinous crime which he committed. So for this sin, he got to be what? Judged by the judges. It said fire going to come with destruction. But then he also said that the jealousy is the rage of man. What it says, Daniel 8:23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, and the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the Kadesh people. And through his policy also shall craft prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by shalom shall destroy many. But he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So, of course, you know, Yahushua coming with a sword, so that's how he going to wound him. But now he has a sin that can't be removed. He has a sin that can't be removed. Because what did he say, right? All the earth will wander after the beast, except for who? Those who are written in where? What did we read in Malachi 3? That those who feared and thought upon Yahuwah's name was written where? In the Lamb's book of life. Therefore, he said, I will do what? I will spare them. Because he said he's going to root out all that this person's increase who sleeps with another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? When you turn around and look at it, you know who that happened to, right? Who that happened to? David. He rooted out all his increase after he did that, didn't he? That man didn't prosper in the same fashion that he prospered before he did that with Bathsheba. He killed all his sons, didn't he? Turned against him. All that there. Because you ain't supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to be doing that. That just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That just ain't right. That's disrespectful. See, Yah's jealousy of coming back from land with his wife has not been executed on their nation. That jealousy going to be executed on one person. And that's that man that's going to stand up and say he God. You know what I'm saying? Because let's look and see what he's going to do. Revelation 14. Do I want to use? Because we know in Revelation 13 what he say, right? That he going to cause all the people to make an image, and they going to do what? Bow down, worship the beast. And if you worship another God, what have you done according to the law? You done committed adultery. And he laid, and if you laying in wait, you laying in wait to do what? To deceive. We just read how this man gonna do what? Deceive. So he laying in the cut to do what? Deceive. This is how you, again, we looked at it on the normal level, but now this is how you're supposed to be able to know, discern between the righteous and the wicked. You're supposed to look at Yahushua and look at the beast and be like, well, Yahushua never committed adultery. And this nigga, Yasharal's not your wife, cuz. This not your wife. Why you trying to get somebody else's wife? Because remember, he said he going to deceive. He going to have understanding of dark sentences. So that means he got to come at the people of the book. What I'm deceiving some Chinese people for? They worship Buddha. They ain't nothing to deceive. Arabs over there talking about Allahu Akbar. Who are they to deceive? Nobody. You see, they already deceived. So again, of course, also because it's tying everything we was talking about. Of course, so if you talking about nobody can stop sinning, and you talking about you can stop sinning, then I'm able to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Because the righteous ain't going to tell me nothing like that. Only the wicked will. Why? Because it said, what did we read in John? Those that do what? Truth. They going to come to the light. And it's going to show that they work as man. So ain't going to be no blot, no blemish, no nothing in that work. But when you got some blemishes in that work, you're going to do like we did. This is what you're going to do. No. That's what you're going to do. I don't want to be seen. Because if you see me, you're going to see the boogers I got in my nose. You're going to see that the condoms in my back pocket. Niggas say you celibate, but you got condoms. How? What you doing with them? We touch your browser right now. Just like brother talking about, well, a lot of y'all, boy, we see you. You're clicking on them porn. You're clicking, your page getting hacked because you're clicking on porn.
Sending these videos out.
Sending these videos out. Because the only way they're sending them videos out because you clicked on it.
I mean, you were trying to see what they posted on your wall.
On your wall.
You already know that was 50.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can accept the request. Some people just blindly accept requests and then they see this person sharing porn and they delete them. But see, now you used to think, some people think, oh, you was watching that stuff, that's why they, but now they send them to everybody. They send them spam junk to everybody. So if you see a nigga, a friend request come up, now you got better go and click on it and look at it. Then you scroll to see is this a real person, and the first post you see is a porn video. And you know what a nigga doing? Clicking. So then when they clicking, the spam is showing.
You gotta click it. If you sit there long enough, it's gonna play.
All I know is a nigga who I knew, I thought it was a fake page. That nigga tagged me in one of the videos. I ain't never unfriended nobody before till that day. Nigga, don't you tag me in nothing like that, boy. His page was hacked. His page was probably hacked cause
You been messing with that boy?
he been messing with it. When you hear niggas be talking about they got viruses, they say you've been watching that porn. But start watching that porn. I wouldn't nigga like they like to watch that porn. Revelation 14, right? And 8. There followed another Malachim saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The third Malachim followed them saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Kadesh Malachim and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascend up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast in his image, and who shall receive the mark of his name. So remember, right, in Proverbs, it also stated about the what? For jealousy is the rage of man, and he will not spare in the day of his vengeance. Isaiah 63 talked about what? The day of vengeance. The day of Yahuwah is near. Because now I got to seek vengeance, because I got to be jealous for my Kadesh name, jealous for my land. And he also said jealous for who? His people. Those are the three things he said he would be jealous over. His land, because you trying to take my land, so you committing adultery with my land. I'm jealous for my name, because you saying you are God, and I am. And now I'm jealous for my people, because that's my wife. Not only did you try to take my land and my name, you trying to take my wife too. Because usually when niggas commit adultery, that's what they're trying to do. Take your house, take your wife, take your name, all that. That's why he say he'll come with the fire of destruction and you get judged by the judge. And let's just see something, right? Revelation 19 tell us what? That Yahushua coming to do what? To judge. So We know the beast get taken and what? Thrown in the lake, which burn with fire and brimstone, alive. So we can see based on action, Job saying, if I commit adultery, this is a heinous crime. This is what should happen to me. Yahushua was tried, but as we started in the beginning, they said this is a just man. He ain't did nothing. Because Pilate and his wives were able to discern between the righteous and the wicked. How do we know that? Because Pilate said he knew he delivered them for what? Envy. According to our law, that's wicked. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, he may have not realized that he was able to discern between the righteous and the wicked and those who serve Elohim and those who don't, but he did. Now we turn around and we look at Job saying, let Elohim weigh me in the balance and let my innocence be shown. And that's why he said, if I've done this, then let this happen. And if I've done this, then let this happen. That's why when you turn around and you see Yahushua, what evil has he done? If he's done this, then let this happen. And then we see that happening to the beast. But hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. We'll stop right there. Appreciate everybody. Bless everybody out the house of y'all.